സാർ ജിതേഷാണ്.
മനസ്സിലായി സാറേ, പറയൂ. സുഖമല്ലേ?
അതെ അതെ, സുഖമായിട്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. സാറാണെന്നുള്ളത് ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോഴാ കണ്ടേ.
ഒത്തിരി ആളെ കണ്ട്.
അതെ 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 അതെ,
ഒത്തിരിയോടുകൂടിയാ കാണുന്നേ.
നല്ലോടെ കൂടി. എന്താ പറയാ സാറേ, കോളേജിലുണ്ടോ?
വഴിക്ക് പോലും കാണുന്നില്ല. സുഖമായിട്ട് കോളേജ് അല്ല, ഇപ്പൊ ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ വീട്ടിലെ, കോളേജിലൊക്കെ പോയില്ല.
ലീവായിരുന്നോ?
ഇന്ന് ലീവ് എടുത്ത് ഞാൻ.
സാറ് അപ്പൊ ഇപ്പൊ ഏത് വഴിയിലാ പോന്നെ? മണിയൂർ വഴിയല്ലേ?
മണിമല വഴി തന്നെ, മണിമല വഴി തന്നെ.
കാണാറേ ഇല്ല.
ഇല്ല, ഇപ്പൊ എല്ലാ കാറിന് സ്ഥിരം പോകുന്നുണ്ടേ. മണിമലന്ന് മെഴിക്കത്തോട് ജനപ്പാട് വഴി കയറി പോകുന്നോണ്ടാ കാണാത്തെ. ഏതോ ഒരു ദിവസം സാറിന് ഞാൻ ആ മൂന്നാല് വെച്ച് കണ്ടായിരുന്നു. സാറ് അവിടെ തിരിയുന്ന കണ്ടായിരുന്നു ആ റോഡിൽ.
നമ്മള് വഴി മോശമായിട്ട്.
കോളേജില അല്ലേ?
കോളേജിലുണ്ട്, കോളേജിലുണ്ട്.
കോളേജിലുണ്ട്.
അത്യാവശ്യം അവിടെ തുടങ്ങിയോ? KT തുടങ്ങിയോ? ക്ലാസ് തുടങ്ങിയോ?
ക്ലാസ് തുടങ്ങിയില്ല. ഞങ്ങൾ കോളേജിൽ വരുന്നുണ്ട് എല്ലാ ദിവസവും. ജൂൺ മിഡ് മുതൽ ഞങ്ങൾ കോളേജിലുണ്ട്.
അല്ല, ഓഫ്ലൈൻ ഇല്ല, ഫിസിക്കലായിട്ട് തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടില്ല.
ഇല്ല, ഓഫ്ലൈൻ ക്ലാസ് തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടില്ല. ഓൺലൈൻ ക്ലാസ്സാ. ഓഫ്ലൈൻ ജാനുവരി 4 തുടങ്ങി.
28 മറ്റോ ആദ്യം ഡിക്ലെയർ
ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. അത് മാറ്റിയതാണ് ഒരാഴ്ച.
എക്സാം ഒക്കെ എങ്ങനെ കണ്ടക്ട് സാർ? ഓൺലൈൻ ആയിരുന്നോ?
ഹലോ സാറേ,
എക്സാം ഒക്കെ ഓൺലൈൻ ആയിരുന്നു?
എക്സാം നടന്നില്ല, നടക്കണം. ഓൺലൈനാണ്.
ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായി കോളേജിൽ പോകുമ്പോൾ ഭാവിയെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള ആശങ്ക പലതായിരുന്നു. എന്നാൽ സുന്ദരമായ ആ ക്യാമ്പസിലേക്ക് കയറി ചെല്ലുമ്പോൾ ഒരു ആത്മവിശ്വാസം എനിക്ക് ലഭിച്ചു. നല്ല സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ, സംശയമകറ്റി വെളിച്ചം പകർന്നു തന്ന അധ്യാപകർ, പുതിയ ആശയങ്ങൾ നൽകിയ ലൈബ്രറി, ഏകാഗ്രതയും നല്ല ഓർമ്മകളും നൽകിയ ക്ലാസ് റൂമുകൾ, ഡിജിറ്റൽ ലോകത്തേക്ക് പറക്കാൻ പഠിപ്പിച്ച കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ ലാബ്. അങ്ങനെ MES കോളേജ് എന്നെ ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് സ്വപ്നം കാണുവാൻ പഠിപ്പിച്ചു. ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ വളരെ ഹാപ്പിയാണ്. സ്വപ്നങ്ങളെ പിന്നിലാക്കി ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ പറന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. യു ഹാവ് ടു ഡ്രീം ബിഫോർ യുവർ ഡ്രീംസ് ക്യാൻ കം ട്രൂ.
MES College Erumely, proposed PO Erumely, Kottayam, unaided arts and science college under the Muslim Educational Society, approved by Government of Kerala and affiliated to the Mahatma Gandhi University.
Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am. We can start.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Asha Jason, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science. Welcome you all to the national webinar. Department of Computer Science, in association with IPC of MES Erumely, organizes a national webinar on NAAC Criterion for Infrastructure and Learning Resources. NAAC accreditation helps the higher learning institutes to know its strengths, opportunities, and weakness through an informed review process. As we know, among the 7 criteria of accreditation, criteria 4, infrastructure and learning resource, has a major role in contributing towards accreditation. We are here with our resource person, Professor K.G Satheeshkumar, HOD, IPC Coordinator, College of Engineering, Kuapalli, Mrs. Ramadevi A, Vice Principal, Coordinator, IPC, Mr. Jitesh K.S, Vice Principal Academics, Mrs. Betty Joseph, HOD, Department of Computer Science, Mr. Hari G, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science, and myself, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science. Prayer is aligning ourselves with the purposes of God. Let's start our program with a prayer song.
ആലം ദയാലുവായി ദാക്ഷിണ്യശാലിയായി
വാഴുന്നോരീശ്വരൻ തിരുനാമത്തിൽ നിഖില ലോകങ്ങൾക്കുമേകരക്ഷകനാകും അഖിലേശ്വരനല്ലയോ സകല സ്തുതിയും. അഖിലേശ്വരനല്ലയോ സകല സ്തുതിയും. പരമകാരുണ്യവാൻ കരുണാനിധിയേ, വിധി പറയും ദിവസത്തിനേകാധിപനേ, നിയതമാരാധിപ്പൂ ഞങ്ങളങ്ങയെ മാത്രം സതതം സഹായമായി തീർപ്പതും തിരുമുമ്പിൽ നയിക്കണം ഞങ്ങളെ നേരായ മാർഗത്തിൽ. നിന്നനുഗ്രഹപാത്രമായോർ മാർഗത്തിൽ അങ്ങയാൽ കോപിക്കപ്പെട്ടോരുടെ വഴിയല്ല, സന്മാർഗഭ്രഷ്ടരത്തൻ വഴിയിലുമല്ല. ആലം ദയാലുവായി ദാക്ഷിണ്യശാലിയായി വാഴുന്നോരീശ്വരൻ തിരുനാമത്തിൽ നിഖില ലോകങ്ങൾക്കുമേകരക്ഷകനാകും അഖിലേശ്വരനല്ലയോ സകല സ്തുതിയും.
I would like to welcome Mrs. K.G Satheeshkumar, Department of Computer Science, for the welcome speech.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you all here for today's webinar. I'm Betty Joseph, HOD of Computer Science Department, MES College Erumely, and today I'm bestowed the duty to welcome you all to this session. First, I would like to welcome our speaker, Professor K.G Satheeshkumar, sir, HOD Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, Amal Jyoti College of Engineering. I truly appreciate your time and effort for us. Warm welcome, sir. Welcome you, sir. Next, I would like to heartily welcome our principal, Mr. Mahin Eman, sir. Sir, welcome to the webinar. Next, I would like to welcome our vice principal and IQAC coordinator, Mrs. Rema Devi, ma'am, to this webinar. Welcome, madam. Also, I would like to welcome Mr. Jidesh K.S., Vice Principal Academics, and welcome Jidesh to this webinar. And my colleagues, Ms. Asha Jason and Mr. Hari G, welcome to the webinar. Last but not least, I welcome all the attendees, which includes teachers, students, and all other participants to this webinar. I'm very pleased that all of you joined us to be a part of this session. Hope you will find this webinar useful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Betty madam, for your warm welcome. Now, I invite Mr. Jidesh K.S., Vice Principal Academics, for the presidential address.
Thank you, Ashish. I'm very happy to address this gathering connected to a webinar. The topic, infrastructure learning and resources. Computer Science Department initiative for conduct a webinar connected to criteria for infrastructure learning and resources. They are very experienced and well-known speaker here with us. That is Professor Satheeshkumar, sir. I think I hope this webinar will be a successful one because very well-known and very experienced faculty is with us. So I wish all the success for this webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jidesh sir, for your support and wishes. Next, I welcome Mrs. Rema Devi K., Vice Principal, Coordinator IQAC, for the inaugural address.
Thank you, Esther. Good afternoon, all. As the IQAC coordinator, I am happy that IQAC of our college has been organizing various quality enhancing programs. Even in these hard times, IQAC, in association with various departments, forums, and clubs, conducted around 40 webinars of relevant topics, and all were handled by eminent personalities. Today, IQAC, in association with Department of Computer Science, is organizing a webinar on NAAC Criteria for Infrastructure and Learning Resources. We are sure that today's resource person, Professor K.G Satheeshkumar, HOD, Department of Electronics and Communication, Amal-Jyoti College of Engineering, Kanjirapalli, is an apt person to handle the topic. Sir, hearty welcome. And also, I use this opportunity to thank you all for your cooperation. Have a wonderful session. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wishes. Now it's time to introduce our resource person to the virtual gathering. It is a great honor for me to introduce our resource person of this category beautiful university. We are gathered here to mug up as much as we can about NAAC Criteria 4 from his knowledge ecosystem. Our resource person, Professor K.G Satheeshkumar, has served Indian Air Force as engineer from 1985 to 2001. After joining Amal-Jyoti College of Engineering in 2001, he has played multi-faceted roles as HOD of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering since 2002 till date. He is Secretary, Students' Council Advisor, IQAC Coordinator, and many more. Under his leadership, the Department of EC became one of the prime departments to be accredited by NAAC for the first time in 2008 and continuing till 2023. He is a member of Academic Board of Governors of Amal-Jyoti, and he is a proficient resource person for various seminars, invited talks, and training programs, including assessment and accreditation process of NAAC and NTA. And he has published more than 20 papers in national and international journals and conferences. I welcome you, sir, for handling the session.
Thank you, Asha, Miss, for giving a wonderful introduction. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, shall I continue? First of all, let me thank and appreciate the effort taken by the MES College Erumely for organizing webinar on NAAC at different criteria. As we know that getting accreditation is a tedious job. In that, college is taking leadership to organize the webinar in different criteria. Really, it is appreciable. So I would like to thank the management, Department of Computer Science, and IQAC coordinators and all others who has asked me or given me an opportunity to interact with this great community and in the area of accreditation. Special thanks to Asha Jason, because she was the person who was interacting with us. She is very close to Amal-Jyoti. Whenever we organize any program, especially the technical FDP, she is one of the participants to attend. She is very active member in that college also, I know. So I thank Asha Jason also. So may I enter into the formal duty of sharing my experience about the NAAC accreditations. I would like to share a PowerPoint and continue. I hope screen is visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Oh, okay. So we'll be discussing about the accreditation specific to NAAC, and in that specific criteria for infrastructure and learning resources. As we all are hearing about the outcome-based education, that's what we expect from every institute. So outcome of today's session, upon successful completion of this session of 1.5 hours, each participant would be able to understand the significance of accreditation, compile the data for filing SSR, self-study report, evaluate the respective criteria for, because we are focusing on criteria for, and be able to analyze the data and decide whether our institution can get accredited or not. My objective of this presentation is to give an idea about the accreditation, because MES faculty may be knowing about all the accreditation. Some may or may not know about the accreditation basics or fundamentals. I'll start with that. If you feel it is not required, you can tell in between also. So my presentation goes as like this. What is accreditation and specific to NAAC? Assessment and accreditation process of NAAC. Criteria for infrastructural and learning resource related to the accreditation. Key indicators, data templates specific to the criteria for, then standard operating procedures for data validation and verification. Then we conclude. So accreditation is a process of formal recognition of quality of an educational program or institution. Specifically, now NAAC is looking for the program institutional accreditation, not the program. Department accreditation also was in the NAAC plan, but presently they're looking for the institution. That's also by an external independent agency on the basis of impartial assessment based on well-defined criteria. It is a process of quality assurance and improvement. There are two types of accreditation: institutional accreditation and department accreditation. NAAC is focusing nowadays only about the institutional accreditation. And significance of accreditation varies within the different stakeholders. It is basically to excel among stakeholders. We have the different stakeholders like students. They are the primary stakeholder for any educational system. Then faculty, alumni, parents, recruiters, industries, government and public sectors, regulators, management and institution. So let us see the benefits of accreditation or the significance of accreditation to these different people. For institution, they are looking for continuous improvement towards excellence and building a brand name. When we look for an admission annual, we see whether the college is accredited or not. Then government funding, some of the funding schemes from DST or UGC, they look whether the program or the institution is accredited or not. Then to make the institute aware about the strength and weakness of the institutions or program offered by, there's a SWT analysis is done in the accreditation. For the parents, assurance of quality education to their wards, and to alumni, career with professional accomplishment. For students, selection of institutions and educational programs of higher standards, admission in reputed educational institutions for higher studies, wide range of job opportunities and international mobility. The faculty, career growth in an inspirational environment with academic freedom, government funding for project implementation, enhance the research capability. For the industries and employers, recruitment of a well-qualified, competent, role-ready graduates, improved industry-institute interaction. For the government and regulators, quality improvement in the education. availability of skilled manpower. Comes to the NAAC, it's an autonomous institution of UGC, established in 1994 and headquartered in Bangalore. The objective of NAAC, the NAAC has been set up to facilitate the volunteering institution to assess their performance via set parameters through introspection and process that provides participation of the institution. This accreditation is not compulsory or not mandatory, but for the affiliation and all, we have to report some to ICT or UGC. But accreditation is a volunteering action of the institution to assess whether we are qualified or we have some quality benchmark or not. To apply for the NAAC eligibility, this higher education institution, what that NAAC is telling for every institution of higher education institutions, with a record of at least 2 batches of students graduated and been in existence for 6 years. This is the prime requirement for applying for the accreditation, and assessment and accreditation. For submitting the application, we should have at least 2 batches graduated in any program for 6 years for the commencement of program. And we should have a number for the reference number of ASHI, All India Survey on Higher Education. That reference number is must for registration. Now, let us see the benefits of accreditation. As I already mentioned, institution to know its strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats, SWT analysis, and informed through an informed review process. Identification of internal areas of planning and resource allocation. Funding agencies look for objective data for performance funding. Institution to initiate innovative and modern method of pedagogy. New sense of directions and identity for institutions. The society look for reliable information on quality education offered. Employees look for reliable information on the quality of education offered to the prospective recruits. Intra and inter-institutional interactions. So this is showing about the accreditation statistics of India. You can see mainly A, B, C, D gradings are there. We have 1697 colleges with accredited in India. India only 1697 colleges with A grade, 208 universities. Similarly, 5482 colleges and 143 university with grade B, and 987 colleges and 13 universities with grade C. This is the statistics of the NAAC accreditation in India as on 29th October. And this is showing about the total first cycle, second cycle. You can see universities with 364 universities, 8,166 colleges, total 8,530 institutions gone from the first cycle. Then second cycle, you can see the number of colleges or the universities are less. Since 94 it is started. Suppose somebody has got the accreditation 94, they should cross the fourth cycle also. So cycle means normally when we are applying first time for the accreditation, we will be going in the first cycle. Subsequent, after 5 years, NAAC is giving accreditation for 5 years. Once we cross this 5 years, Namaljo is concerned 2015 we gone for accreditation, and in May we got the accreditation, and our accreditation beyond in 2021 May. This coming May, that is 5 years, that accreditation will be getting over. 16 we got the MBA accreditation, NAAC accreditation. Okay, so this is the statistics of NAAC accreditation in India. It's only again for a general information. So let us see the assessment and accreditation process. How can we apply for the accreditation for beginners or those who are not knowing about that? So all these criteria are correlated with this process. Let's say just giving a brief introduction about this and proceeding further. First and foremost thing is the higher education institution registration. That's a simple process. We should have a college mail ID, college phone number, a contact persons, normally IQC coordinator or the principal. If this much information is there, we can register for the accreditation process or higher education institution registration. Once we register, we will be getting a username and a password. Once we get this username password, log into that, then we have to submit IAQA, Institutional Information Quality Assessment. So we have to give some generic information about the college, like name of the college. Then once we are giving the name of the college, ensure the same name is given in our affiliations with the university and our regulatory body like UGC or ACT. So the name of the institution, contact person, then like that around 32 parameters are there in this IAQA submission, only basic information. And that NAAC authority, NAAC office at Bangalore will be looking into it and they will check whether the IQA can be approved or not. If the IAQA is approved, then we can submit the self-study report within a month. So before submitting the self-study report, we should, before submitting the IAQ submission, we should ensure our self-study report is almost ready. While preparing the self-study report itself, we will get an idea whether we will get accredited or not, or for how many years we can get. If you do the systematic way, my experience as Namal Jyoti, when we have first started with doing the accreditation for NBA in 2007, we applied. 2001, we started. 5,000 first batch out, second batch is out. We applied for the NBA accreditation. So we will keep on going through that. Manuals are there. We are putting the mark for each criteria and keep on checking whether we will be crossing 650 to get the accreditation for free. Which are the area we are lagging? So how can we overcome or how can we compensate it and work it on that and get the accreditation? That was the statistics we were looking. So while preparing the self-study report itself, we will come to know whether we are eligible or whether we will get accreditation or not. Ensure we will never give any false information or the information which we doesn't have in the SSR or in the site. Recently, I've seen some of the colleges have been blacklisted by the NAAC because they forfeited some document like the MOU. They had made their own MOU with some industries. Recently came in the news and the site it is came. So we should, whatever the information we are giving, ensure they are available. Before submitting it, keep all these materials ready. So have a systematic, your approach is very good and excellent because criteria wise you are doing an analysis, prepare the document accordingly, put the mark, cross-check it, call the one department can go to the other department, can do the entire verification under the leadership of IQC. So first and foremost step is IAQ submission, then self-study report. If any problem they find out, then again resubmission of IAQA. Then self-study report, we will be having a quantitative measurement and qualitative measurements. These quantitative measurements, they will be evaluating or checking at the official level, office level, at that secretarial level. And if we score minimum 25% in the quantitative parameters, then only we are eligible to proceed further. So this further means that peer team visit, PTV is the peer team visit, that will be processed, only approved provided we qualify 25% score in the quantitative metrics. And then peer team is appointed. They will be intimated to us within 2 or 3 days prior to the visit. Then before coming, the peer team visit management process, you can see in this graph, everywhere it is going back to the IAQA submission. The peer team, they will be checking once they comes to the institution, they will be doing the QLM. QLM is qualitative metrics. They will check the qualitative metrics. Then they will be declaring the grade. Every stages, they can ask some clarity or clarification related to this. Before they submit the final report to the NAAC, there will be something called an exit meeting. In that exit meeting or the preparation, they will be calling principal or IQC coordinator, one or two faculty closely before finalizing the final one. They will be discussing, and if something they might have missed, because 7 criteria are there, 34 key indicators are there, 119 metrics are there. Suppose they all these parameters have some certain weightage and mark. If they miss some information there, we can correct it. The Amal Jyoti experience. So when they were preparing, they told these things are not that. I told myself and principal only went to that team for the final before what is called exit meeting discussion. We told that these things are there. I think you might have missed it. Then he told, okay, then bring it. Then we brought all those things and shown, and if they are corrected, because they're also human beings. Someday they may overlook it. It is our duty to project maximum information, maximum material to the authority when they are coming for the inspection. They have a tight schedule of 2 or 3 days. We should come to that. So once we get accredited, if not qualified, suppose we are not satisfied with the score they are given, then we can go for the appeal process is there. Then once we got accredited, then annual quality assessment report, AQR submission process starts. For every year, we have to submit this AQR, we should not forget. So this is the generic process of assessment and accreditation online. All these processes are nowadays in the online. Earlier days, we are submitting it on the hard copy, we are sending the PDF version. Okay. Then this is showing about the IAQ submission. I told after the registration, next step is institutional information for quality assessment submission process. So fill IAQA, and upload the support documents. That support documents, again, it should be, they're mentioning about the, it should be a PDF file. Suppose we are giving some letter signed by the principal. The signed printout, scan it and put it as PDF. We cannot put our signature, copy and paste there, or header of the letterhead, just copying and putting in file and submitting is not permitted. We have to take the printout, scan it as a PDF file. Then pay IAQ fee. IAQ fee is 25,000 rupees plus GST. Once we pay the fees, next is IAQ submission. When we submit the IAQA, then they will be checking whether we are qualifying or not. That they are doing by the IAQA verification, submit the clarification. If they found some information is not clear or something is missing, they will send a reply back. Then we have to correct it within 15 days. After that, again submitted clarification responses, IAQ verification and accept. Once they accept it, then within a month we have to submit the self-study report. If they reject it, then we can submit 2 times more to the same fees within a year, within 1 year and 2 attempts, the same fees, this 25,000 rupees. Then this is showing about the SSR submission process. Once the IAQ is approved, then fill the SSR and upload the data file as per template. For each criteria, each metric, some is qualitative metric, some is quantitative metric, some templates are there. With respect to criteria 4, I will be showing that and will explain it. So data capture through the profile, metric related to the questions, up to upload supporting data for NAAC templates, minimum 50%. Yeah, first one is we should have a student satisfaction survey. So we should give around 50% students data in mandatory. When we give the students list, their mail ID, their contact details, is NAAC office will be contacting them. At least 10% of students should respond it back. That is student satisfaction survey. Then only they'll consider for our further process. There are three-step process are there. One process is student satisfaction survey. Once they approve, once they see this is okay, then we have to pay the self-study report first installment. So along with the self-study report, we should remit 50% of the accreditation fees. That will come to the different fees. Depends upon the college, university, PG, UG, number of programs. Then out of these metrics, some of the metrics are not applicable or we can avoid it. Such metrics can also be, information can be given. Then comes to the DVV. DVV is data validation and verification process. Whatever the document we give, that NAAC office will be verifying those data, whether it is correct or not, validity, genuinity. If they found something is wrong, maybe through the DVV process only, the colleges which I told they have been blacklisted. Then they will be intimating, suppose some problems are there, your data are missing or some disparity or mismatch is there, that condition we have to again, will be asked to submit the data back. And we can resubmit it, there is no problem. Then after the verification, that updated SSR with input from DVV and student satisfaction survey and InflipNet. InflipNet is Internet Information Library Network. That means which hold the net informations of all data related. Come to that. Then DVV process, data validation and verification process. Data validation and verification process identify the deviations. They'll be doing on the submitted document. Some document we can submit as PDF file. Some can be uploaded in our website and can give the link. They'll be verifying it. And if they found some variations or some quality problem is there, they may be asking us to resubmit it. And whatever the queries are there, ensure within 2 weeks, within 15 days, you should rectify it. If you are not responding, means we are withdrawn or we are not qualified. Higher education institution submit the clarification responses to DVB. That is DVB verifications of higher education. After our initial submission, they will verify, they give some queries, we answer their query, they will recommending the data update, then second level verification and final DVB report submission to NAAC. On this DVB report and validation only, they will be coming for our further inspection. Majority, almost 70% of accreditation work or their status will be over with the DVB process. Only qualitative measurement they are doing for almost 30%. The student satisfaction survey that your IQC will be knowing that is must for the NAAC accreditation. The student satisfaction survey means normally around 20 objective questions and 1 subjective questions are there. Then the students asked to answer it. To initiate the survey with the 30% of students over all programs. Send activation link to student that NAAC will do. Student logins and submit survey responses. Whatever the score they are given, we can get a response from the. Even we can make a Google form for the student satisfaction survey and we can get a response. Send survey request remaining. First initially 30, then if not responding, then we will be sending it to the remaining 70%. And minimum a 10% response they should get, or 100 for a colleges and 500, whichever is lesser. Suppose you have 3,000 students, at least 300 students should respond to the student satisfaction. If it is less than that, they will not be coming for the inspection. And the minimum, that score also, how many students responded, will be giving in our report, final report, what they give. Then they will be setting a time period of normally a 1 month. They will be closing the survey for the higher education institution, computing the student survey metric value. Then InflipNet bibliometric data feed. As we know that higher education details, again, suppose we as a fraternity or the faculty, when we publish some papers, some of our good works are there, that from our H-index, our Scopus rating or our citation, all those information when we submit it, and that's the criteria 3, the research activity area where we're submitting those information, they can cross-verify it from the InflipNet bibliometric data. And if they found, we are shown 200 paper from Erumely College, MES College of Erumely, and only they found from the website that's only 50 are there, then they may be asking for a clarification. If we found it is there and they overlook, we can send them response with these are just look this one, they will look it if they will correct it back. That is the InflipNet bibliometric data feed. This all came in from the 2007 initial NAAC accreditation. These things were not there. Then, as I mentioned, that SSR, self-study report, quantitative metrics evaluation for pre-qualification. That is, this quantitative metrics, they will be measuring, and if you get a 25% score, then only they will be coming for the visit. Compute the QNM percentage, verify pre-qualification eligibility, and set pre-qualification passed status. Okay, then we'll see the fee structure. First one is IAQ fee for registration. It's a 25,000 plus 18% GST. I am mentioning about the fees because all the people should be aware how much money the management is spending for this accreditation. And once we are not getting this accreditation, this much money is wasted. So before submitting, we should ensure that if you are working in a team, I am sure we will get accreditation. There is no doubt. So 25,000 is the IAQF fee for registration initially. Then once we register it, IAQ is approved, then we will be submitting the SSR. And we are submitting the SSR, 50% of the fees we have to submit it. For universities and professional institutions, it is 3,75,000 for 10 departments. More than 10, it is 7.5 lakhs plus GST. And along with the SSR, 50% of this amount, that is 1.875 plus GST, we have to pay. And more than 10, just 50%. And the remaining 50%, 50% will be submitting with the tax before 15 days prior to the visit. Once they declare the visit date, we can remit. This IAK fees, assessment and accreditation. As yours is a government grant, what is called private college, for the college, it is 1.85 plus tax. And along with the SSR, we have to submit 92.5. Again, they categorize multi-faculties, mono-faculty, and teacher education institution. I hope it is not multi-faculty means as your college is a multi-faculty, because we have the different department or different discipline. Commerce is there, computer is there, science is there, like that, arts and science. So mono means only one program or one department actually. Then teacher education. So this is only for the awareness. In addition to the IAK fee, assessment accreditation, then we have a logistic fee. Logistic fee, we have to pay 1.5 plus GST for 2-day visit. If number of programs are more, then they may plan for 3 days. In such cases, we have to pay 3 lakh plus GST. And if we have authorized offshore campus, then we have to pay, that university has to pay 2 lakhs extra, 3 plus 2, 5 lakh they have to pay for the visit. If we found that accreditation status or the information given by them is not satisfied, then we can go for the appeal. That again we have to pay 1 lakh rupees. Okay, this is all about the fees, and I given an overall idea about the accreditation process and benefits. Now let us see the assessment process. I already mentioned there are 3 stages: self-study report, student satisfaction survey, and peer team report. The SSR has total 115 metrics for universities, 107 metrics for autonomous, and 93 and 96 metrics for UG and PG affiliated or constituent college, respectively, covering the 7 criteria. So each matrix is having a value. Some of the metrics are qualitative, some of the metrics are quantitative metrics. As I already mentioned, there are 2 types of metric: quantitative measures and a qualitative metric. Quantitative metrics are the quantifiable facts and figures that we have to upload it in the site or along with the SSR as a PDF. Qualitative metrics, they will be giving about the descriptive responses, and according to this, normally the qualitative metrics they measure during the visit. So there are 7 criteria, and NAAC is assessing for 1000 point or 1000 score, we can say. Curricular aspects 150, for the college it is 100, for the university and autonomous college it is 150. Teaching, learning and evaluation, which carries the maximum score, 200 for university, 350 for autonomous, 300 for autonomous, and 350 for the affiliated or constitution. So we have 350 score upper. And research, innovation and extension, 250 for university, 150 and 120. Normally, as a college, we will be lagging in this area, 120. Then infrastructure and learning is 100 for all the 3 types. Governance, leadership and management, 100. To institutional values and best practices, 100. So this teaching learning process, research, innovations and extensions, and curriculum. These are the 3 major areas where our faculties work. All the criteria faculties also are there. The faculty can contribute much in this area. Once we publish a paper which is having some value, if you have a good result, there is some value. So with this, I'll proceed to the criteria 4. So this is the distribution of matrices and key indicators. There are 7 criteria for all the 4 sessions. 34 key indicators for university and autonomous, 31 for affiliated colleges and 32 for the PG college. Qualitative measures 36 for university, 34 for autonomous college, 35 for affiliated colleges, UG, 36 for the PG college. Quantitative metrics 79 for the university, 72 for autonomous college, 58 for UG, and 60 for the constituents college. Total 115, 107, 93, and 96. Key indicators of our infrastructure and learning resources. There are 4 key indicators: physical facilities, library as a learning resources, IT infrastructure, maintenance of campus infrastructure. You can see all the score is same for whether we are university or the affiliated college, 30-20, 30-20. These key indicators are further divided into matrices. Each matrix is having some weightage. The team is coming, they are evaluating each matrix with a letter grading of A, B, C, D. We'll come to that. So first criteria, first key indicator is physical facilities, which is having 30 mark or 30 point, we can say. In that 4.1.1, which is a QLM, that is qualitative metrics, that they will be looking once they come to the college, and also they will be looking through the data what we submitted. So in that, which is the institution has, they will be checking whether the institution has adequate infrastructure and physical facilities for teaching learning via classroom, laboratories, computing equipment. Starting from the title deed of our property, then institutional composition, then they'll be looking how many acres of land we have, and how many classrooms are there, whether these classrooms are fixed with the multimedia projectors or the ICT enabled classroom. Do we have a Wi-Fi facilities? Do we have a LAN connectivity? And whether the classrooms are sufficient to meet one-to-one classrooms are there, how many classrooms are there, some tabulations and validation data we'll discuss along with that. Then, while submitting SSR also, we should give the total number of rooms. Branch-wise, suppose BCA is there, BCA of 3 or 4 classrooms are there, for each year one classroom with the classroom number, and also we should give a geotag photo of each classrooms and laboratories as they mentioned in the uploading conditions. So laboratories, computing equipment, how many computers are there for academic purpose, administrative purpose, one-to-one for the faculty's purpose, all those information we should give. Describe the adequacy of infrastructure and physical facilities for teaching learning as per the minimum specified requirement by statutory bodies within a maximum 500 words. So we have to upload any additional information is there, or we have to pay the link for. Suppose the data is more than 5 MB, then we have to put it in our website and give the link and with the permission to do. So this is having 5 weightage. Out of 30, 5 is for the physical availability of classroom, labs, computing, and equipments. Then 4.1.2 is also qualitative metrics. That institution has adequate facilities for cultural activities, sports, games, that is indoor and outdoor, gymnasium, yoga center. So while submitting the report, ensure maximum information we are projecting it and maximum things we have, or what we have, that we have to show. And they will be asking us to show the diagram or the photo. That's also geotagged photo, what is that we have to give it: gymnasium, yoga center. And describe the adequacy of facilities for sports, games, and cultural activities, which include specification about areas, size, year of establishment, and user rate within a maximum of 500 words. And we have to upload the informations required, or we have to link the addition. That is also having 5 score. Then 4.1.3, that is it's a quantitative measure. So this they will be verifying before coming to the inspection. So that is having a weightage of 10. So percentage of classroom, seminar hall with the ICT enabled facilities such as smart class, learning management system. number of classrooms and seminar hall with ICT facilities, data requirement. As per data template, number of classroom with LCD facilities, Wi-Fi and LAN facility, smart classroom, number of classroom, number of seminar hall with ICT facility. So in almost everywhere, majority of the colleges say we have the Wi-Fi facility in all the classroom. And they came for the visit, they entered in one classroom and they asked show me the Wi-Fi facility in their tab. So ensure inside, suppose we say Wi-Fi connectivity is there, before their visit, whether we can show that Wi-Fi connectivity inside a classroom, or we should see a focus on area where that connection is available. Suppose they are sitting at the back, and we see that if there is no net connection, we know again Wi-Fi connectivity or Wi-Fi connection depends upon the different location. It may vary. So ensure where they have, and we are the people guiding them. So let us see. They'll tell, okay, so ensure we are making them to sit in a place where we have a Wi-Fi connectivity in the class. This is simple things. But suppose they say it is not there, means so again they will not be entering in all the classes. So they may be asking to show a class with a Wi-Fi facility or LCD facility, or when they go through the veranda, they may be entering into one of the classes. When NBA comes, they come for the department wise, so they will be asking that particular department. But for NAAC, so college wise totally, so they will be entering into any room. So these are the simple things, but ensure before visit occurs, we have checking all these things are available. So provided, suppose we so room number 201 is having the Wi-Fi facility. Ensure in 201 we have the Wi-Fi facility. So we will be calculating a score, number of classrooms and seminar halls with ICT facilities divided by total number of classrooms or seminar halls in the institution. Suppose we have a 20 classrooms with ICT and total classroom is 40. That means we have almost 50% of classroom is having the ICT facility. So they have a norms. Accordingly, they will be putting a weightage. Then 4.1.4 is also a quantitative measure. Average percentage of expenditure, excluding salary for infrastructure augmentation during the last 5 years. Normally, NAAC is looking for the 5 years data. So this expenditure for the infrastructure augmentation, that I think a college office may be maintaining the accounting information. We should collect from them and we should keep it ready, audited statement of this income expenditure statement. One calculation is with the salary and another is without the salary in tax. And again, once coming to the salary and all, they'll be looking whether the amount what we signed the faculty is getting or not. And if you are not giving full or partial, whatever, ensure documentation is correct. Okay. Then, yeah, this again regarding to the salary concept is concerned, they will be looking the salary register. If it's a bank payment, they will be looking with the bank statement, with the faculty's passbook. All this they may be doing randomly. They may be asking, just ask one faculty to show their passbook or bank statement, something like that. That happened in our college. That's just mentioning and came in between that. So, okay, then data required for last 5 years. The data template is there. So the DVB template I'll show. So we have to fill the data accordingly. Then expenditure for infrastructure augmentation, total expenditure is excluding salary. The average percentage for 5 years, we are taking the average value. So we have to upload the additional information. So out of this 30, 5 for the 10 for the, what is 10 mark for our 10 weightage for our expenditure, and 10 for our classroom with ICT enabled, 5 for the institutional facility, cultural sports facilities, and 5 for the classroom facilities. So this 30 point, this one key indicator how for metrics. So here 2 qualitative and 2 quantitative measures. Then second is the 4.2 is the library as a learning resource. Library as a learning resource, they will be looking whether the library is having automated using integrated library management system, ILMS. And they'll be asking name of the ILMS software, nature of automation, version, year of automation, and they'll be cross-verifying it. We have to give the data for the last 5 years, and they'll be checking it. That is having 4.4, or the 4 mark for that library ILMS software. Then 4.2.2, they'll be looking for the institutional subscription for the e-journal, Sindhu, so the Ganga membership, e-books, databases, remote access to e-resources. Out of the 6 criteria or the 6 subscriptions, if you have 4, then we will be getting 6 out of 6. 6 mark is the score for this particular weightage. Or accordingly, 3 and above B, that is E means percentage will reduce, C, D, or E. Then in that, we have to give the details of membership, details of subscription. All these informations will be comfortable with our librarian. They may be knowing all these informations correctly. Then 4.2.3, average annual expenditure for the purchase of books or e-books and subscription to the journals or e-journals during the last 5 years. When we will be looking into the institutional budget, they will be looking how much percentage is reserved for the library utilization or library requirement. That they are to calculating and to give the data for the 5 years annual expenditure for purchase of books. Even if we have the books as per the norms, UGC regulations or ICT norm, still we have to buy some books every year. For the 5 years, they will be looking into the average. Accordingly, they will be giving the template form is that's a quantitative measure. Then percentage per day usage of library by teachers and students. Ensure maximum usage of our library. If not, they will tell the library is not user friendly. For that, ensure whenever the students are coming to the library, they make the entry. And ensure that library, almost every library may have an entry exit register. Even if our daily usage is less, before accreditation or before submitting SSR, ensure at least you take this book to the class and get the student's signature, at least for the different slot. It's what I want to say. You should not, means our data wise, we should have a good number of students, coverage of number of students entering to the, like we should encourage them to the library. If possible, take the entire class to the library. So for 40 or 60, whatever, they make the entry a day. Every day, suppose 1 or 2 classes are going to the library, maybe for a 5 minute or 10 minutes, entry will be there. So ensure this is having a weightage, how many faculty, how many students are entering into the library, daily usage, some calculations are there. Details of library usage by teachers and students. Then institutional frequently update. Then the third criteria, the 20 was 4-6, that 5 mark for the library usage, 5 mark for the average annual expenditure, then 6 mark for the e-journals and subscriptions, and 4 mark for the ILMS software. So 20 marks. So each criteria, if we have, we can put the score and how much we are lagging. If missing something, try to implement it and then go for the accreditation. Then criteria 3, the IT infrastructure facilities. Institution frequently have to update the IT information like Wi-Fi, how is the connectivity, how many, what are the different types of nature of updation within a maximum, how much, what is the data rate, which are the service providers, how many systems are with the computers, all those informations will be giving about the IT facilities including Wi-Fi. That is 5 mark. 5. Then student computer ratio, data for the latest completed academic year. Number of students, number of computers data. Requirements, number of computers in working condition, total number of students. We have to give the data. For that we have 10. Then bandwidth of internet connection in the institution. It is more than 50 megabits per second Mbps, we are getting 15 out of 15. If it is less, then we are scoring. So if possible, again, it's not correct to say, at least before the accreditation inspection, ensure our data network connections and its related paper is above 50 megabits per second. So we will get we will get a weightage of 50. And ensure minimum broadband connections are there. Otherwise, student satisfaction survey, they say there is no internet connectivity, and we are saying 50 Mbps, it may contradict. So it should be there. Little bit variations we can make. So that is ABCD, that is a quantitative measurement. Then comes to the fourth key indicators of the fourth criteria, maintenance of campus infrastructure 20. That 4.4.1 is the average percentage of expenditure incurred on maintenance of infrastructure, that is physical, academic support facilities, excluding salary component during the last 5 years. Maintenance of infrastructure, physical, that is our equipment purchase will come there, our repair of the rooms, fans, all those things, even the minor repairs, we should document it, we should have proper expenditure statement. So we have to upload all those information which carries 10 points. Then they'll be looking into there are established system and procedures for maintaining and utilizing physical, academic, and support facilities. Laboratory, library, sports complex, computers, classroom. These are the guidelines which we can make it. Suppose we are transferring an equipment from one department to another. Is some loan registry there or not? Some procedures are there or not? How many days this equipment or the book can be kept in the loan? Or suppose an equipment goes unserviceable, what is the procedure for the repair of that one? How much fund or how much financial power an HOD can have? Suppose a computer is got damaged, it is not functioning, not getting switched on. Our lab staff cannot repair. If you are calling somebody from outside, do the HOD have the provision to get it repaired by his capacity? Or do we have to go, what is the procedure from HOD to the principal, principal to the management to the governing board, or something like that? The hierarchy will be there for the academic or administrative matters. So ensure, so what is the established systems and procedures for maintaining and utilizing all these facilities? The classroom allotment. Do we have the same class for a particular branch? For every hour, do we change the classroom? All those things can come under this, which is having the 10 point for the 4.42 qualitative measurement. So as I mentioned, there are standard procedures for data validations and verification, that known as SOP. As already I just told, relevant original document signed by the concerned authorities and or members of committee should be scanned and uploaded. No digital signature putting on. You have to scan it and take the make the document, take a printout, put the seal, put the signature, then scan it and upload it. Then insertion of signature and insertion of header of the institution is not permitted, not acceptable. Then NAAC higher education portal supports only 5 MB data for each metric. If the attachment exceeds 5 MB, then we have to put it in our website and give the link for DVV clarification response. So I mentioned about the geotagged photo. It's nothing but we are taking a photograph with the geo information of longitude and latitude. These are the facilities available in the digital camera to set the location on. In our mobile, if we put the GPS on and take a photo, we get a geotagged photo. Download the pictures in computer system, and we have to edit it. The standard format they are given in this self-study report or in this SOP procedure they mentioned. Then these are some of the data template for the quantitative metrics or the document verification. So key indicators 4.1. This is the format 10 mark is there. Room number or name of the classroom, seminar hall with LCD, Wi-Fi, lab facility, type of ICT facility, link to geotagged photos and master timetable. Suppose we say classroom number 101 is for first year BCA, and they'll be looking into the timetable whether anybody else is using this classroom. If you have 1-to-1, when Namal Jyoti, we have 1-to-1 classrooms are there. When I was studying in my college, for every hour, we used to change the classrooms. Depends upon the department. We have to go there. There is no permanent single classroom for a particular part. In that, they will be cross-checking with the master timetable. Suppose we have 8 classes in ECD department in Namal Jyoti, we have 8 classrooms, then there won't be any problem. Similarly, for the lab, suppose a computer lab is used by the different department, or they are using with the proper timetable. All those information with the room number, type of facility, and Leo link to geotagged photos to be submitted. This is the standard format. That serial number is there. This information we have to submit in their own format. Then only we will be able to upload it. Then 1.4, it's a infrastructure that is called our average percentage of expenditure. You have to give the 5 years data year, then budget allocated for infrastructure augmentation, expenditure infrastructure augmentation, budget allocated and expenditure. If it is less, they will be questioning why it is less. And if it is more, then it is okay, there is no problem. Total expenditure excluding salary, expenditure on maintenance of academic facilities excluding salary for human resources, excluding salary for human physical facilities. Each of these for the 5 years we have to give data in tabular form. And again showing about the, do we have the subscription for this one? E-journal, show the Sindhu, show the Ganga membership, e-books, databases, which are the membership we have. Related data, it is 20 point, 6 point is there. We have to give the data in the same template format. So here for 5 years we have to give this data, books, e-face, details of memberships and for e-books, how many books are there, journals, memberships and subscriptions, expenditure on subscription, expenditure on subscription, other e-resources, total library expenditure linked to the relevant document. Like that, all this journal, e-journal, e-book, show the Sindhu, show the Ganga, databases, local and remote access to specified sources. All this information we should give in the same template format. This is for first year, second, third, fourth. We have to give the data for 5 years. Then for the standard operating procedure, that is metrics, document required for verification, specific instruction to the higher education institution, not to be included or considered. So total number of classrooms and seminar halls, list of number of classrooms and seminar halls, and with their photos, geotagged photos. All rooms used for academic purpose to be considered only, and geotagged photos of the classroom to be provided. That is, the document should be ready with us. Classroom for academic purposes. Then laboratories and workshops are not to be considered as the classroom teaching. When we do some tutorial classes or some activity, but classroom should be specifically shown as the classrooms. And total expenditure, excluding the salary, the documents required for verification, audited statement of the income and expenditure, duly certified by the principal and chartered account in case of privately funded institutions, highlighting the salary components. Also provide a statement showing the total expenditure excluding the salary component for each of the years certified by the principal and chartered account. Every college will be having a audited statement of their income expenditure. There certain procedure will be there. Claims without audited income expenditure not to be considered. Audited document by a chartered accountant is must. Then total number of computers in the campus for academic purpose. We have just stock register. All those things will be there. In stock register will be having the quantity, rate of purchase, serviceability status, where it is located. Exclude the computers used for administrative purpose. Yeah, so computers used in the administrative activity cannot be used for the total number of use for the academic activities. Then percentage of classrooms and seminar halls with ICT enabled facilities such as smart classroom LMS. We have to get the geotagged photo. Only classrooms on seminar hall with ICT enabled facilities to be considered. Labs and workshops with ICT facility not to be considered. We are looking for the classrooms. Then average percentage of expenditure excluding the infrastructure augmentation during the last 5 years. Provide the consolidated fund allocation toward the infrastructure augmentation facility duly certified by finance officer. Highlight the relevant items in the audited income and expenditure statement. Which ask us, we are explaining, we should be able to audit. And again, I'm sure the account people, they may be doing all these activities in Tally nowadays, so they will be able to easily be able to show the all cross statement or cross correlation we should be able to do. Avoid recurring expenditure on lab, maintenance of infrastructure, acquisition of books and journals under this metric. Then subscription, again the similar way, they have to give the information how much the institution has subscription for the following resources. E-copy of the letter of subscription or membership in the name of higher education institution. Again, librarian knows when we subscribe for some magazines, we get some letter from them, copy, file it, upload it in the document page along with the SSR. Ensure that the letter of subscription contains the complete details. Provide a link in the institutional website for the selected option for DVV verification. Soft copy of printed books cannot be accepted as e-books. Again, the grading is A, B, C, D. A for if out of the 6, any 4 is there, we will get full mark out of the particular. Then, average annual expenditure for purchase of books. Provide consolidated extract of the expenditure for purchase of books and journals during the last 5 years, attested by the head of the institution, chartered account, audited income expenditure statement. Then, percentage per day usage of library by teachers. So certified e-copy of the ledger of for footfalls for 5 days. Last 5 days in the, we have to give the data of last 5 days. So ensure a good percentages of utilizations are there. It is available in online access. During DVV clarification process, library logbook entries and data for online access for randomly selected 5 days will be sought. They will be looking into the document through the physical software in the entrance exit register. Then student computer ratio, data for the latest completed academic year, number of computers available only for students use only, bill for the purchase, highlight the entries of computer purchase in the stock register, the data. Whatever the items we have, ensure we have a stock number. We are putting that some standard procedure of labeling of number of, suppose in our college when they came in 2008-7 for the accreditation visit, the chairman was sitting, he asked where is the number, show me the bill of this particular chair, and I can say that you brought today from some furniture shop on a loan. That way they will talk. So we have to go, you should show the bill, you should show the stock number, each and everything we should have number, and we should have a stock register, and we should show them if they ask. They will not check 100% checking. They may do randomly or selected sample. So we should be able to provide that selected information, selected document, what they suggest. Then bandwidth, 50 Mbps, bill for any 1 month or 1 quarter, maximum 3 months of all the latest completed academic year. Leased line connectivity in the name of higher education institution will be considered. Snapshot of speed test by Wi-Fi internet facility will not be considered. So we should show the bill, we should show the e-copy of the document agreement with the service provider. Then average percentage of expenditure incurred on maintenance of infrastructure, physical auditing, academic support facilities, excluding salary components during the last 5 years. Provide audited income expenditure statement. So here in this metric-wise standard operating procedure is showing for each criteria what document should be there, which way we should show it, and what should not be or what they will not be considering, which gives a clarity or a clear indication whether we will get accreditation or not. What is missing with us for each criteria. Similarly, like this I am focusing mainly on 4th criteria. For all the 7 criteria, like this information are available in the NAAC site and SSR and the related document. And some information I shared from my experience with the NAAC and NBA accreditation of our college. And assessment outcome, as I mentioned, there is a qualitative and quantitative metrics, a peer team report. They will be giving a report, then graphical representation based on quantitative metrics, and institutional grade card. In peer team report, there are 4 sections. Section 1 gives general information of the institution and its context. Gives criterion-based analysis based on peer evaluation of qualitative indicators. A qualitative descriptive assessment report based on the critical analysis presenting strength and weakness of higher education institutions under each criteria. Criteria wise what is the strength, what is the weakness. So they will be mentioning for all the 7 criteria. Then section 3, overall analysis, which includes institutional strength, weakness, opportunities, and challenges. Then record 4, section 4, recommendations for quality enhancement of the institutions. Then graphical representation based on the quantitative metrics, system generated quality profile. So we give all this information automatically, a QNM metrics and a graphical presentation will come from the quality indicator framework. Graphical presentation institutional features will be reflected through the synthesis of quantifiable indicators. Institutional grade sheet contains institutional grade sheet, which is based on the qualitative indicators, quantitative indicators, and student satisfaction survey using the existing calculation method, but it will be generated by a software. So normally each key indicators, we have seen the NAAC accreditation or the process is divided into 7 criteria. Each criteria are divided into key indicators. Each key indicators are divided into metrics, and each metrics is having some mark or weightage. Each of these metrics will be evaluated in 4 scale: ABCD, very good, good, satisfactory, and unsatisfactory, with 4, 3, 2, 1. And they will be doing a cumulative grade point average calculation. That's again known to all of us. For each criteria, if we have a 6 points, we have then 6 into, if you are getting A, you will get 6. If you are in the B, then 6 into 3, that is 18 by 6. That will be having the weightage of 6, that will be multiplying. And you know the cumulative grade point average calculation, they will be doing the cumulative grade point average. Each criteria, normally they will be calculating how many A is there, B is there, C is there, D is there. Total they will be calculating. Always while calculating, in a rounding off is required, they will be taking to the nearest higher value. Grade point average is worked out for the criterion. Cumulative grade point is calculated. Then coming to the accreditation. So before the 2017, we are having the ABCD. Now we have subsections. So if we get 3.51 to 4 out of say scale of 4, we will get A++. 3.26 to 3.5, A+, 3.01 to 3.25. When if it is 3.24, then we will not get A, it will be B++. 3.25, 2.76 to 3. For a 0.25 difference, we have A++, A+, A, B++, B+, B, C, and D. If it is less than 1.5, we are not accredited. So while filling the SSR, we make a mock visit within the college, we'll get an idea how much mark we will get, whether we will get. Hope for the A, work at least for A, work for A++, at least we should get A. That is possible if we go for a systematic approaches. Then once we get accreditation, we should go for these are the mandatory disclosure for the NAAC, functional of IQAC, minutes of the IQAC meeting, mandatory submission of AQR. Every year we have to submit the annual quality assessment report, upload the AQR on the institutional website. Yeah, how much work is involved in accreditation? It's a lot of work to prepare accreditation reports. It's a continuous thing, but committees have members from each department, or there is a certain amount of paperwork to produce. And I would like to conclude, we have to work with NAAC, even though it is torturous, tedious, and terrible. But once we get accredited, there is no words to express the happiness. Those who undergone the accreditation process, they know during the working, we'll be working day and night, and we'll be under pressure and tension during the visits. Even we may not get time for even taking a cup of tea or totally busy schedule. But when the result comes, we get the accreditation. The amount of happiness and joy we have, we cannot comment, we cannot express by words. Okay. So Aristotle says, men acquire a particular quality by constantly acting a particular way. Particular quality by particular way. Just we become just by performing just actions. We become temperate by performing temperate actions. You become brave by performing brave actions. we should become an expert by taking accreditation actions. That's what my suggestions. So I will conclude, work with NBA. Then any questions if you have, you can ask. These are the informations I would like to share with you. If some questions in the chat or whatever I know, I hope this information, some of the information may be known to you, but some may be useful. If you are asking some questions, I can share from my experience if I know, or I'll try to convey. Sometimes I hope so. Thank you. I waiting for some questions.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So we have certain queries.
Please, ma'am.
Like, actually, this is regarding the library. For a minimum, how many e-journals have to be subscribed by an institutional library?
Okay. That minimum number of e-books and e-journals, as per the UGC norms, it is there for a autonomous college, for a what is called affiliated colleges, and that number is specifically mentioned in the UGC guideline. As per the UGC norms, you have to check it how many, and your librarian will be knowing. For number of students, that's normally the procedure is number of program. Number of program means here you have the BCA, BBA, MCA, MBA, like that. Different programs will be there. Number of programs and number of students, we should have the number of books. That is clearly known onto the librarian. If not getting, I can get you. It's available in the UGC guidelines. The minimum disclosures are there in that is there. I did go through your condition. For us, for the engineering institution, it is this many volumes. For every 60 batch of students, we required 120 books like that. It's there, volumes and books.
Okay, thank you, sir. Does it require to purchase books with a finite amount in an academic year? I think she is asking for how much or how amount we should purchase books in every year.
Okay, that's again one aspect is, as I mentioned, as per the UGC guidelines, this many books we should have every year. This percentage, 10% of books is to be added in the volume and the title. That again, the librarian knows what is volume and what is the title. That many books only. The amount they are not mentioning anywhere. This much amount you spend it. Suppose some foreign books are there, its cost maybe 6,000, 7,000. That we cannot have more number of books. Mainly that looking for the number of books available. Quantitative availability of the number of books, not the amount we spend it. Even journal also, if you have a PG program, this many journals should be there. That number they will be looking at. Then qualitative analysis whether this book is good or not. Some one book is, suppose a C programming book written by a foreign author is 6,000. We cannot have 100 copies. We may have one in the reference section and the almost similar quality of same material of 200 or 300 rupees. We can buy 10 and keep to match our budget.
Okay, sir. Then something related to infrastructure. Is it necessary to keep the infrastructure file in each and every department, or only one file along with this IQAC is necessary?
Yeah, one file with IQAC is sufficient, and we should, so the department wise is concerned, we should know, suppose a computer science department is there, how many classrooms are there, how many seminar hall, the room number, that photo, that document, that minimum number in a single paper or a single file, we should be able to show these are the things. Suppose they are asking, show me the purchase order for that, we can take it from the IQAC and show. And they came to the Amal Jyoti College for the first time for the NAAC visit. When they came to the department, they asked the service book of one of the faculty. So I mentioned it is available in the college office. So they told, can you? Then I told one faculty to go and bring it from there and we show. Means we can keep all the document in a central places, And if they ask from the department, we can go and show. It's rarely they ask from the department. We can keep in a central. Duplication or replication of the work is not required. Document again, unnecessarily taking the photostat and keeping is not necessary. But we should know, suppose HOD have been asked how many classrooms you have, how many students you have, which are the classrooms for, which seminar hall you are using, is it earmarked for you? So suppose room number 105 is a seminar hall, is it purely for computer science or is it for BCA or for MCA or something like that? We should know thoroughly which are the facilities for that infrastructural facilities for the individual department which are available for common. Suppose a gymnasium we have. Suppose we have only one gymnasium, the same is used by the boys and girls. Then we may be having two different times, sometimes for the boys, sometimes for the girls. So like that. We should know them. Suppose they're asking, we should be able to say these are the facilities available that HOD. They'll be normally asking the HOD or some of the members in the department. Normal NAAC visit, first is the principal's presentation. Then they'll be going for the common facility visit like library, then a computer facility, like sports complex, all those things. Then they'll be come to the department. So in the IQC, once they come, they check all this document, they know these informations are already there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sir. Sir, it is not possible to add the number of computers used in office or administration towards the total number of computer, right?
Yeah, that for academic should be separately, administratively should be separately, we should have. Therefore, then they are calculating the number of students per computer, there we will not be using the office computer, otherwise it will be used. That's only the difference. The formula is there, the total number of computers available in the college, used for the academic purpose, students use.
So where should we mention the number of other computers which we are using in administrative purpose?
Ma'am, I couldn't get the question.
Sir, it is said that we can include the total number of computers in academic purpose like that only. But suppose we have got around 10 to 15 computers that are used in administrative wing. In which template or in which metrics we can include this administrative purpose computers? Where can we include all the number of?
Yeah, that's available in the that 4.2. The total number of computers, excluding in that list, we can show. There, total number of, there's a provision to provide the total number of computers. They describe the IT facilities, including Wi-Fi. Here we can give the total number of available in the in that academic administrative. They are mentioning in the student computer ratio, we should not include the computers. Here we should use only the computers used for the student community. Here in the 4.3, here in the IT facilities and ICT facility where we can show the total number of computers here.
Okay, so we can include that in 4.3. Right, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. It is correct now. It is clear now. Now, sir, you have mentioned that master timetable means department timetable. The whole
master timetable means for the the master timetable. I think someday some of the colleges, the principal's office may have the timetable of all the department, all the programs. So that is the master timetable. Suppose some common facilities. Suppose in Amalajodi we have one international auditorium. If you want to avail that facility, we have to book it. So there will be when we are booking that on online process or offline, that they tell us Monday around 10 to 12 I want for EC department use. Once I book it, they will say it is booked already. Like that, common facilities which is shareable, will come to know from the master timetable. And also our day-to-day activity timetable. These are the master timetable. I think it is clear. Is it clear?
Does each department should
timetable.
keep this master timetable, sir?
No, it should be with the IQAC or with the principal, because suppose, I don't know about your college, but in our college, when we want to utilize, let's say, common facility, we'll be putting a request. By submitting the request, we'll get an idea it is occupied by a guy or a particular branch or different classes, then we will not get. If it is free, then we can book it. So there should be a monitoring system from where we are. Suppose a auditorium with a capacity of 500, then that who is knowing whether this Monday, this particular hour, the coming tomorrow, it's a New Year celebration. We want the auditorium. Suppose the computer science department want that auditorium. So there should be someone who know that nobody is booked it. That is what we are looking into the master timetable. From a common point of view, maybe with the IQAC or with the principal's office or with the administrative officer, there should be a single entry point or single, just like front-end office, we can say, where we can get an idea whether this is used or not.
Okay, fine, sir. Now it's clear. I think there are no more questions. Anyway, thank you, Satheesh sir, for sparing your precious time and knowledge with us. The session was really worthwhil to the entire NAAC team members of our college, and all of us benefited from it. Next, I invite Mr. Hari G. Sir, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science, for a vote of thanks.
Hi, sir. You are muted, sir. Hari, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, Harisa. Once again, I extend my sincere thanks to all the dignitaries, especially our resource person and all the participants. The New Year's Eve is just hours away, and it's time to say bye-bye to 2020, a year which has tested us in more than one ways. May you have a happy and healthy year ahead. Happy New Year 2021. Now, let us wind up the session with National Anthem.
Sarjan sir, shall we wind up?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. You can leave. Every person can leave. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you once again. Thank you all once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Satish sir.
Thank you. Okay, sir. Bye.
ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായി കോളേജിൽ പോകുമ്പോൾ ഭാവിയെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള ആശങ്ക പലതായിരുന്നു. എന്നാൽ സുന്ദരമായ ആ ക്യാമ്പസിലേക്ക് കയറി ചെല്ലുമ്പോൾ ഒരു ആത്മവിശ്വാസം എനിക്ക് ലഭിച്ചു. നല്ല സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ, സംശയമകറ്റി വെളിച്ചം പകർന്നു തന്ന അധ്യാപകർ, പുതിയ ആശയങ്ങൾ നൽകിയ ലൈബ്രറി, ഏകാഗ്രതയും നല്ല ഓർമ്മകളും നൽകിയ ക്ലാസ് റൂമുകൾ, ഡിജിറ്റൽ ലോകത്തേക്ക് പറക്കാൻ പഠിപ്പിച്ച കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ ലാബ്. അങ്ങനെ MES കോളേജ് എന്നെ ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് സ്വപ്നം കാണുവാൻ പഠിപ്പിച്ചു. ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ വളരെ ഹാപ്പിയാണ്. സ്വപ്നങ്ങളെ പിന്നിലാക്കി ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ പറന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. യു ഹാവ് ടു ഡ്രീം ബിഫോർ യുവർ ഡ്രീംസ് ക്യാൻ കം ട്രൂ.
MES College Erumely, proposed PO Erumely, Kottayam, unaided arts and science college under the Muslim Educational Society, approved by Government of Kerala and affiliated to the Mahatma Gandhi University.
ഞാൻ ആദ്യമായി കോളേജിൽ പോകുമ്പോൾ ഭാവിയെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള ആശങ്ക പലതായിരുന്നു. എന്നാൽ സുന്ദരമായ ആ ക്യാമ്പസിലേക്ക് കയറി ചെല്ലുമ്പോൾ ഒരു ആത്മവിശ്വാസം എനിക്ക് ലഭിച്ചു. നല്ല സുഹൃത്തുക്കൾ, സംശയമകറ്റി വെളിച്ചം പകർന്നു തന്ന അധ്യാപകർ, പുതിയ ആശയങ്ങൾ നൽകിയ ലൈബ്രറി, ഏകാഗ്രതയും നല്ല ഓർമ്മകളും നൽകിയ ക്ലാസ് റൂമുകൾ, ഡിജിറ്റൽ ലോകത്തേക്ക് പറക്കാൻ പഠിപ്പിച്ച കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ ലാബ്. അങ്ങനെ MES കോളേജ് എന്നെ ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് സ്വപ്നം കാണുവാൻ പഠിപ്പിച്ചു. ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ വളരെ ഹാപ്പിയാണ്. സ്വപ്നങ്ങളെ പിന്നിലാക്കി ഉയരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് ഞാൻ പറന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. യു ഹാവ് ടു ഡ്രീം ബിഫോർ യുവർ ഡ്രീംസ് ക്യാൻ കം ട്രൂ.
MES College Erumely, proposed PO Erumely.